The passing of time is an invisible river that shapes our lives in ways we rarely notice until we are forced to look at the reflection of who we used to be and who we have become. In the relentless glare of Hollywood, where moments are captured, archived, and analyzed by millions, this passage of time takes on a unique, almost surreal quality. We watch the figures who defined our own youth grow older, step into new chapters, and navigate the profound, quiet milestones of ordinary human existence that occur far away from the flashing cameras and the red carpets. There is a universal vulnerability in watching a child grow up, a sentiment that resonates deeply with anyone who has ever held a newborn in their arms and wondered how the years could possibly slip through their fingers so quickly. This profound experience belongs to everyone, bridging the gap between the extraordinary lives of global icons and the everyday realities of families everywhere. It is in these quiet transitions, far removed from the scripted dialogue of television sets and the structured narratives of cinematic masterpieces, that the truest stories of human connection are written. As viewers, we often feel an intense connection to these public figures, tracking our own personal histories alongside their career milestones, remembering exactly where we were when their most famous projects aired, and finding comfort in the realization that they, too, experience the bittersweet nature of watching their children step into adulthood. Before we dive deeper into this touching journey of growth, family bonds, and the beautiful complexities of life under the spotlight, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss another exclusive story like this one. The world of entertainment is filled with stories of public families drifting apart under the immense pressure of fame, making it all the more captivating when we witness an enduring bond that defies the traditional Hollywood narrative. When we think of iconic figures who have shaped modern pop culture, we often envision them frozen in the specific eras that made them famous, surrounded by the glamour of their most celebrated roles. Yet behind the scenes, away from the meticulously managed public personas and the demanding production schedules, lies a completely different reality, defined by the universal challenges of parenthood, self-discovery, and the inevitable departure of the next generation. It is a world where international stars face the exact same emotional hurdles as any ordinary parent, grappling with the quiet emptiness of a house that once echoed with childhood laughter and adjusting to the changing dynamics of a relationship with a child who no longer requires constant guidance, but instead seeks a peer-like companionship. This transition is never easy, regardless of how much success or fortune one might possess, because the emotional weight of watching a child build their own independent life is a milestone that levels all human experience. The public often catches mere glimpses of this private world through carefully curated windows, but beneath those brief moments lies a rich tapestry of memories, shared laughter, deep reflection, and a complex history that spans decades of growth and transformation. To truly understand the depth of this modern family dynamic, one must look back at the historical context of an era when television was undergoing a massive cultural shift and the individuals at the center of this story were establishing themselves as some of the most recognizable faces on the planet. The late 90s and early 2000s represented a pinnacle of media attention, where every personal decision, every relationship, and every family milestone was scrutinized by global audiences. In the midst of this intense cultural whirlwind, a high-profile marriage captured the imagination of the public, blending two distinct Hollywood legacies and creating a partnership that the media followed with insatiable curiosity. It was a time of immense professional triumph, where the demands of starring in era-defining sitcoms and blockbuster horror franchises meant that personal lives had to be fiercely protected within a tightly knit circle of trusted loved ones. When a child was born into this environment, she was immediately, though unintentionally, positioned at the intersection of immense public fascination and private devotion. Her early years documented not just in private family albums, but also in the peripheral vision of a global fan base that cheered for her parents' success. As the years advanced and the landscape of celebrity media evolved from traditional print magazine to the instantaneous world of digital connectivity, the nature of how these personal stories were shared changed dramatically. The public watched from a distance as the young girl grew, protected from the harsher elements of the spotlight by parents who understood all too well the perils of early exposure to fame. This protective boundary allowed for a relatively normal upbringing, filled with the standard milestones of school, friendships, and the gradual discovery of individual identity, all while maintaining a foundational bond with parents whose own lives were constantly shifting through new career phases, personal challenges, and evolving relationships. The strength of this foundation becomes increasingly apparent when we observe how the family handles major life transitions, demonstrating an underlying respect and mutual affection that survives even when the structural nature of the family unit changes over time. It is a testament to the enduring power of shared history and deliberate emotional investment, proving that the ties that bind a family together can remain incredibly strong even when the paths they walk begin to diverge into separate territories. The emotional landscape of parenthood is often defined by a series of gradual letting go moments. Beginning from the very first steps a child takes away from their mother to the monumental day they pack their bags to pursue higher education. For a mother who has spent decades navigating the highest peaks of international fame while prioritizing her role as a protector and guide, the departure of an only child creates a unique void that no amount of professional accolades can truly fill. The silence of a home that was once filled with the chaotic energy of adolescence can be deafening, forcing a profound introspection about identity, purpose, and the shifting nature of maternal love. This particular transition highlights the universal truth that regardless of one's status, wealth, or global recognition, the emotional reality of watching a child leave the nest is an equalizing experience that evokes the same mixture of pride, anxiety, and bittersweet nostalgia in every single parent. It is an intricate dance of wanting them to succeed in the wider world while simultaneously wishing to freeze time and keep them close. A delicate balance that requires immense grace and emotional maturity to navigate successfully. As this specific narrative unfolds, we begin to see the beautiful fruition of years of dedication, love, and mutual respect manifesting in a modern relationship that is both inspiring and deeply relatable. The journey from a dependent child to an independent adult is paved with complex emotional shifts, where communication patterns must be entirely reinvented and the traditional boundaries of authority give way to a profound lifelong friendship. The moments of connection shared between a mother and her adult daughter serve as a beautiful reminder that the investment made during the formative, often turbulent years of childhood yields a magnificent harvest of companionship and mutual admiration in adulthood. The public is left to marvel at the seamless grace with which this family has navigated the treacherous waters of fame, divorce, and personal evolution, setting a remarkable example of what it means to lead with love, humor, and unwavering support through every season of life. The stage is now set for a deeper exploration into the specific events, reflections, and heartfelt expressions that have recently brought this extraordinary family back into the hearts and minds of millions around the world, illustrating that the most powerful stories are often the ones rooted in the simple, enduring truth of unconditional love. The curtain pulls back to reveal the heartfelt and intimate details of a milestone celebration that has captivated audiences worldwide, reminding everyone of the profound enduring power of familial love in the public eye. Courteney Cox, the universally beloved 61-year-old actress who captured the hearts of millions as Monica Geller on the legendary sitcom Friends, recently took to social media to share an incredibly touching tribute to her daughter, Coco Arquette. This occasion was no ordinary milestone as Coco officially marked her 22nd birthday, transitioning further into the independence of her 20s and solidifying a deep, evocative connection with her famous mother. Through a sweet, sentimental Instagram post shared on a quiet Saturday, Courteney offered her global followers a rare, affectionate glimpse into their private world, sharing two carefully selected photographs that beautifully bridge the immense gap between the cherished past and the vibrant present. The caption accompanying these images was filled with a profound sense of gratitude and maternal pride, reading, "Happy birthday, Co. You are such a wise soul. Funniest person I know and my life teacher. I love you, X." This public declaration of love instantly resonated across the digital landscape, drawing immense admiration from fans who have watched this relationship blossom over more than 2 decades of public scrutiny. The visual contrast between the two photographs shared by the actress told a story of growth, devotion, and the unstoppable march of time that every parent understands on a deeply spiritual level. The first photograph captured a stunning contemporary moment, showing the mother and daughter smiling warmly cheek to cheek, their physical resemblance undeniable, but their shared joy even more striking to behold. It revealed a contemporary dynamic built on a foundation of profound friendship, equality, and deep mutual respect, capturing a mature bond that has clearly outgrown the traditional constraints of childhood dependency. In stark, beautiful contrast, the second photograph was a treasured throwback image from Coco's early childhood, evoking a wave of nostalgia that transported viewers back to a simpler era. This vintage snapshot featured the doting, radiant mom tenderly holding her only child in the midst of the vast, rolling waves of the ocean, a powerful visual metaphor for a mother protecting her child against the unpredictable currents of life. This beautiful juxtaposition of the past and the present served as an emotional anchor for the entire tribute, highlighting how quickly the years slip away, transforming a completely dependent toddler into an independent, wise young woman who now teaches her own mother valuable lessons about life, humor, and resilience. The warmth of this celebration extended far beyond a single social media post, as Coco's father, the 54-year-old actor David Arquette, joined in the birthday celebrations with his own deeply moving tributes on Instagram. David, who was married to Courtney from 1999 until their eventual divorce in 2013, has always maintained a deeply supportive and collaborative co-parenting relationship with his ex-wife, ensuring that Coco grew up surrounded by a unified front of unconditional love and unwavering support. Now happily married to Christina McClarty, David demonstrated his profound pride as a father by sharing two completely separate, heartfelt posts dedicated exclusively to his daughter's major milestone. Underneath one of these incredibly touching posts, the actor penned a caption that overflowed with genuine emotion and paternal devotion, writing, "I'm so proud to be your papa at Coco Arquette. Happy 22nd birthday. I know this is going to be a magical world." This public expression of fatherly pride was met with an immediate, affectionate response from Coco herself, who commented under her dad's post with a simple yet incredibly powerful phrase, "I love you so much." She repeated this exact sentiment under a separate post featuring a carousel of 3 photos of them together, beautifully illustrating that despite the complex geography of a divorced family, the emotional bridge between this daughter and both of her parents remains completely unbroken, solid, and filled with immense joy. This public display of family harmony is not a recent development, but rather the result of years of conscious effort, mutual respect, and an unyielding commitment to putting their daughter's well-being above all else. Earlier this year, this unique and tight-knit family unit delighted fans and media commentators alike when they reunited on the prestigious red carpet for the high-profile premiere of Scream 7, which officially hit theaters worldwide on February 27. The Scream franchise has a deeply historic and personal significance for this family, as it was on the set of the original iconic horror film in the mid-90s where Courtney and David first met and fell in love, making their continued collaborative presence at these premieres a beautiful full-circle moment. Standing together in front of the flashing cameras, navigating the intense energy of a major Hollywood premiere as a supportive unit, they showed the world what true maturity and successful co-parenting look like in practice. The tension that so often accompanies high-profile divorces was completely absent, replaced instead by an easy, authentic camaraderie that can only be forged through years of shared history, mutual forgiveness, and a collective devotion to the extraordinary young woman they brought into the world together. While the primary focus of this narrative remains firmly rooted in the celebration of Coco's adulthood, it is impossible to fully appreciate the current family dynamic without exploring the intricate and sometimes challenging romantic journeys that have shaped Courtney's life over the past decade. Following her amicable separation and subsequent divorce from David, the actress embarked on a deeply significant relationship with Johnny McDaid, the incredibly talented 49-year-old musician and prominent member of the internationally acclaimed rock band Snow Patrol. The couple's romance blossomed quickly, leading to a high-profile engagement in 2014 that legal and entertainment analysts assume would culminate in a spectacular wedding ceremony. However, the path of true love is rarely linear, particularly under the intense pressure of international careers and long-distance dynamics, and the couple eventually made the difficult decision to call off their formal wedding plans. Despite breaking off their engagement and navigating a period of intense separation during which Johnny moved back to his native England, their underlying connection proved entirely too powerful to dissolve completely, leading to a profound romantic reconciliation in 2016. The evolving nature of this relationship was later clarified by Courtney herself during a remarkably candid and insightful appearance on The Ellen DeGeneres Show in 2019, where she shed light on their unconventional yet deeply fulfilling romantic arrangement. The actress confirmed with complete honesty that they were not actually engaged again, choosing instead to discard the traditional societal labels that so often complicate modern relationships. "He's not my fiancé," she explained to the audience with absolute clarity. "We were engaged to be married, but now we're just together. We broke off our engagement and he moved to England. Then we got back together and it's actually better than it was before. Everything's better." This mature perspective on love and companionship perfectly mirrors the broader philosophy that defines Courtney's approach to her entire life, prioritizing authentic emotional connection, personal growth, and functional happiness over rigid societal expectations or public perceptions. By choosing a path of flexibility and deep emotional honesty in her relationship with Johnny, she has cultivated an environment of stability and peace that directly benefits her entire extended family, providing a solid, supportive background against which her daughter Coco could confidently step out into the world and discover her own unique voice, secure in the knowledge that her family structure is anchored by genuine, unshakable affection. To truly understand the incredible woman Coco Arquette has become at 22, one must examine the profound, often humorous reflections her mother has shared regarding the monumental transition of sending her only child off into the wider world of higher education. This pivotal chapter of their lives came under intense reflection in October 2024, when Courteney Cox stood before a distinguished audience of entrepreneurs, leaders, and media professionals at the Inc. 5045th Annual Conference and Gala. With her characteristic wit and disarming honesty, the seasoned actress pulled back the curtain on the intense vulnerability that accompanies the classic empty nest syndrome, an experience that caught her completely off guard despite her years of preparing for it. She admitted to the crowd that she initially possessed a somewhat casual, detached attitude toward the impending milestone. Watching her peers dissolve into tears during their children's senior years of high school while she remained thoroughly unfazed by the upcoming departure. "It is incredibly weird because people get so profoundly upset the very first year your kid goes off to school," Courtney recalled with a bright smile, reflecting on her initial mindset. "At the time, I was genuinely like, what is the absolute big deal about this? She doesn't really talk to me anyway when she is home, because she is always hidden away in her room with the door closed." This humorous, slightly detached perspective quickly evaporated, however, when reality officially caught up with the famous mother after Coco completed her historic freshman year and returned home for the highly anticipated summer break. The transformation that had occurred within her daughter during those months away from home was nothing short of miraculous, fundamentally shifting the entire dynamic of their lifelong relationship. Then she comes home after her first year in college, and she was suddenly all incredibly mature and talking significantly more to me than she ever had before, Courtney shared with a deep sense of awe and emotional fulfillment. "And I mean, when I look at her now, she is just absolutely incredible. She is a really special, deeply smart, and remarkably funny kid who brings an immense amount of light into every single room she walks into." This sudden burst of mature companionship and delightful conversation made the prospect of a second departure completely unbearable for the doting mother, completely reversing her initial indifference. "But then, after experiencing that beautiful summer together, I was suddenly like, wait a minute, I absolutely don't want you to go back to college at all," she admitted with genuine vulnerability. "The second year was infinitely harder for me to handle emotionally because I finally realized exactly what I would be missing out on every single day." This profound realization underscores the incredible journey of growth that both mother and daughter have navigated together, surviving the intense, often turbulent teenage years to emerge as best friends and mutual confidants in adulthood. Coco's journey has been uniquely shaped by the rich, multifaceted heritage of her parents, inheriting her mother's sharp, comedic timing and striking elegance alongside her father's eccentric charm, artistic bravery, and passion for creative expression. Growing up as the daughter of Hollywood royalty meant that her life was constantly balanced between the extreme extraordinary and the comforting ordinary. She spent her childhood navigating the legendary backlots of television studios, attending high-profile movie premieres, and being surrounded by some of the most talented minds in the entertainment industry, including her beloved godmother and her mother's former co-star Jennifer Aniston. Yet, despite this proximity to immense global fame, Coco's parents made a deliberate, unified effort to keep her grounded, focusing heavily on education, personal responsibility, and the development of an authentic, independent character that exists completely outside the shadow of her famous last name. The remarkable success of this upbringing is evident not only in Coco's academic pursuits but also in the profound respect and admiration she consistently displays for both of her parents across public and private platforms. Her ability to navigate the complex social landscape of modern youth culture while maintaining a deep, unbroken bond with her family is a testament to the unshakable foundation laid by Courteney and David during her early childhood. Even though her parents' marriage officially dissolved in 2013 after a lengthy separation, the transition was handled with an extraordinary amount of grace, maturity, and emotional intelligence that is tragically rare in the entertainment industry. Instead of allowing the dissolution of their romantic partnership to fracture the family unit, they consciously chose to reinvent their relationship as a collaborative, lifelong co-parenting team. They remained on completely amicable terms, frequently celebrating holidays together, supporting each other's professional ventures, and ensuring that Coco never had to experience the painful division of loyalty that so often characterizes high-profile divorces. This enduring commitment to family unity was beautifully on display during their high-profile reunion at the star-studded red carpet premiere of Scream 7 earlier this year. The event was a powerful, nostalgic reminder of the family's unique origin story, as the horror franchise has served as a consistent backdrop for their collective lives for 3 decades. Watching Courteney, David, and Coco stand proudly together in front of the flashing cameras, laughing and sharing private jokes, offered a beautiful illustration of a modern, blended family that has successfully triumphed over past heartbreaks to build a future anchored in genuine affection. David's current wife, Christina McClarty, has also been a supportive part of this extended family network, further expanding the circle of love and security that surrounds Coco as she navigates her early 20s. This harmonious environment has allowed Coco to step confidently into adulthood, exploring her own creative passions, which include a remarkable talent for singing and performing, skills she has occasionally showcased to the delight of her mother's social media followers, as Coco Arquette marks her 22nd birthday and continues her journey through higher education and self-discovery. The legacy of love, humor, and resilience passed down by her parents remains her greatest asset. Courteney's heartfelt public description of her daughter as her wise soul and life teacher reveals a profound truth about the nature of parenthood, that if we are truly open to the experience, our children will ultimately